Hey, you guys, I am back with another video, and today's topic we are talking all about 9 things you need to stop sharing in 2022. So if you're ready to level up in your life, if you are ready to get your whole life together, then this video is going to help you. I am LaTersa. Welcome if you are new here. If you are a part of the Sunny Squad already, welcome back. And all you have to do if you want to become a part of the Sunny Squad is to hashtag Sunny Squad with 2 sunshines. So listen, we're going to jump right into today's video. I'm not going to pause this. The first thing you need to stop sharing is your relationship status. Nobody needs to know your relationship. I'm not saying you don't let people know that you're in a relationship. That's fine. But I'm talking about sharing all parts of your relationship. You have to be very clear about this. And I think I learned this the hard way when I was married. I shared so much of my relationship that, a lot of people don't like to see you happy. A lot of people don't care to see you happy. A lot of people live for the drama. So when you're constantly sharing every aspect of your life, every aspect of your relationship, you don't have anything to say necessarily for yourself. I always say, in order for your relationship to thrive, to grow, you have to keep strangers out of your business. And when you're airing your relationships and your problems, and even if you're not having problems, some people are just jealous because you have a good man and you're sharing what he does for you all the time and what he did and all of that. Some people will try to test you and see if he's that good of a man that you're saying he is. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised what people will do to find out the truth. And so share as less as possible. And then too, especially when it's in the new beginning stages, you don't want to share that prematurely. What if it doesn't work out? Now you done put all this stuff on social media and now you got to hear the backlash, because the backlash is going to come either way. So when you put it out there, make sure it's already solid and rock, like a year or two in, like y'all going to the aisle, y'all done been to the aisle, because when you start to share your relationship, that's why I don't really necessarily agree with couples channels, because I just don't get on the bandwagon with every trend that come out. That your relationship is I'm not going to say it's not for the world to see, but you don't have to share every bits of pieces about your relationship online. And I'm speaking specifically online because this is the day and age of social media. Everything is online. So you don't have to necessarily share everything about your relationship. All right, so the second thing you need to stop sharing a lot of in 2022, because we are leveling up and we're going to become our best versions of ourselves, is airing out your dirty laundry. If you're going through something, if you're having a rough day, social media is not the place for you to get on there and vent and tell about all your problems, what's bothering you, what's messing with you. I always say, give yourself time and grace to go through a situation. And then when it's time to share then. But while you're going through it, social media, stay off social media. That is not the place to be airing out, because people screenshot stuff, people record stuff. And once you put it out there, you guys, I'm telling you, it is out there. And how I know this? Because I lived it. I'm telling you guys, I don't care how good of intention you have to share bits and pieces of your struggle, to share bits and pieces of your life. It is going to always be out there. So make sure when you are sharing things online, make sure it's something you do not care if your employee finds out about it. Make sure it's something your kids down the road won't be able to read about, mommy, or what you did back in your younger days. That's why I say sometimes venting is for you to do with somebody close in your vicinity, somebody that you trust, not venting to strangers online. Because hear me when I say, and I'm going to keep saying this throughout this video, not everybody is happy to see you doing well. And majority of the time, a lot of people love to see drama because to them, it makes them feel like they're better off than you. It makes them feel like, it's better her than me. It just makes them feel like they have it together a little bit better than you. It's crazy that people think like that, but you'd be surprised of how you put out something negative to vent, you get thousands and thousands and thousands of comments and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. But the minute you put out something positive, or the minute you start leveling up and getting your life together, you hear crickets. It's just human nature. People love drama. People love, dirty laundry. And just say, for an example, you and your husband had an argument. Going to social media and venting about it is not the place to go. That's something you need to go to your therapist, a trusted counselor, your pastor, and see if they can help you work through the problem. But airing it out on social media, one, when y'all make up and get things back on track, people gonna always remember that little venting session that you did. Whether you delete it off or not, I promise you, somebody else has already screenshot and recorded it for you. I'm telling you, it's crazy, but people do it all the time. So stop airing your dirty laundry out on social media. You need to stop sharing on to the public or whatever. Your finances, how much you make, how much money you got in the bank, your credit score, all that stuff is private information. See, you can't be so quick to share, because you'd be surprised that people want to know assumptions about what you making. And then especially if you got family members, a lot of family members, you know, everybody got those family members that they borrowed from you, they never pay back. You start broadcasting how much money you making, what you doing, when you got a raise at your job, all that stuff. Keep that stuff to yourself. And then here's another tip. Don't lend out money that you know you need. You lend out money that you know you'll be okay if you don't get it back. Cringe when I see people putting up their income reports of how much they made last year. That stuff it makes me cringe. So stop sharing it, you guys, ladies. The fourth thing you need to stop sharing about your life in 2022 is your insecurities, your self-love journey. Nobody needs to know your insecurities. Nobody needs to know you on a self-love journey. Let your actions speak for itself. I tell people all the time, I'm always constantly working on myself, but you'll never hear me just talk about what I do. You know, I share bits and pieces, but I don't be like just advertising, I'm on a self-love journey. No, that's something you keep to yourself and work on it in private. Because hear me when I say, people gonna always remember you win. People gonna always remember what happened. And you gotta be okay with growing. Sometimes you outgrow people. Sometimes you outgrow friendships. Sometimes you outgrow family members. You can love them, but you can love them from a distance, because not everybody can handle your level up journey, your self-love journey. See, a lot of people like you because they can stump all over you, or they can make you do whatever they want you to do, or you're always the yes person to them. But the minute you start to grow and you start saying no, you lose a lot of people. And that's a good thing. You don't need people around you that's going to always throw up your past in your face. You don't need people around you that, I remember Pastor Jakes, Bishop T.D. Jakes said years ago, you need some destiny friends in relationships. You need some destiny people around you to help you get to your future, instead of always having people that are associated with your history. That makes so much sense to me. And today it makes even more sense to me, because I couldn't grow staying in my small little hometown. I couldn't grow around the same people that hurt me. I couldn't grow where I was hurt as a child. I couldn't grow where I was, in a toxic relationship. I could not keep associating with those people because it was a trigger for me. And when you learn yourself and know yourself, you know people and things that trigger you. They'll trigger some painful event in your life, or they'll trigger something or cause you to get out of character and make you go back to where you were. You don't need those people in your life. You need people that are in all about your destiny friendships, destiny relationships, all about that. And I always say, ask God and pray to God to send you destiny friendships, destiny relationships. I hear it all the time. We just celebrated Valentine's Day, and y'all, it was the best Valentine's Day of my life in a long time, because a year ago I was in the hospital. And it just made me feel so grateful to even just be alive. So never take for granted the level of growth that you've been through. It takes a lot of work to work on yourself. That's why I tell people, don't come to me about drama about somebody else and what they're doing, because I really don't care. And that's not saying that to be a nasty kind of way. I'm too focused on trying to be the best version of myself, and that is work. Because little me over here, I'm hard-headed. It takes a lot of work to keep me in check, to keep myself going on the right path. So stop sharing what you're working on, what you're growing. Let your actions speak for itself. I tell people all the time, that's the best revenge to somebody that's hurt you in the past, somebody that's done you wrong or whatever. Success is the best revenge you can get. You ain't got to speak bad over them. You ain't got to do nothing bad to them, wish nothing bad on them. All you got to do is become the best version of yourself, live your best life, and let your success speak for itself. That right there will eat them up more than anything. Trust me. All right, and the fifth thing you need to stop sharing is your place of residence. And with social media, especially if you're an influencer like me, I don't ever mention my place of residence. I don't even take pictures or videos outside my place of residence, because people do some crazy stuff. And see, I'm little bitty me, but when you get big, like some of these big influencers, people be trying to show up at your house. No, ma'am, I'm trying to be safe. So when I do my videos, it's way probably another town, another city or two over, because I just want to keep me and my children safe. And that's my advice to you. Stop sharing every little bit. That's why I cringe when I see people do empty apartment tours or empty home tours. And it's great. Don't get me wrong. No shade to anybody that's done that. But it just gives me the creeps. It makes me cringe, because I'm like, some psychos out there that are crazy, and they may be infatuated with you and be trying to pull up on you because they zoom in and try to see what the streets. People do some crazy stuff. So always go to your 100% best to keep you and your family safe. So the next thing I want you guys to stop sharing is your family business, your struggles, mishap. I think they go back to the previous one that I said. But stop sharing all that stuff. When you're struggling, whatever the struggle may be, keep that stuff to yourself. First of all, don't nobody really care most of the time. And then two, if they do, they want to care enough so they can have something to gossip about. I'm telling you guys, in my earlier days, in my early 20s, I was so trusting, whether that was online or in person, because I just always want to see, and I still like to see the good in people, but I'm just a little bit more wiser now. You got to earn your trust with me. So when I say stop sharing your struggles, people love to see people down. I'm telling you, the minute you start sharing your dirty laundry, the minute you start sharing what you're going through, the struggles you're going through, everybody mama got advice for you, and probably ain't never even been through some of the stuff. That's why I always tell people, be careful who you get advice from, because if they never experienced that stuff, how can they give you advice on something? Just an example, if you've never been through a divorce before, how can you give somebody else some advice on that? If you've never been, if you've never been a parent before, if you've never had a child, how can you give, you can give advice, but how can you really tell another person how to raise their child or how to do this or how to mother them? Because everybody is different. Everybody's background is different. Everybody's, how they were raised were different. So you can't just be so quick to give your advice. Sometimes people are venting online, not necessarily because they want your advice. Maybe they just want a listening ear, which is still bad, because you set up yourself, you put yourself in a position to be judged, to be criticized, because that's what human nature do. And you find the most meaningful and hurtful comments online from somebody through a computer screen. Because if they saw you in real life, in person, they wouldn't even say half of that stuff to you. So be careful when you are sharing your struggles or your problems and all of that. I tell people all the time, it's nothing wrong with getting a therapist. It doesn't say you crazy, anything. I've had one for years. That's probably why you see me smile so much more these days, because I do believe in a therapist. I do believe in working on yourself. You got to do that. You can never get to a place where you think you have arrived, because you're not. Always leave room for growth. Always leave room for ways to become the best version of yourself. And then the next thing you need to stop sharing is your dreams and goals. Let people see the end result. Tell people about it when you gotten it in place. Tell people about your dreams and goals when it's already happened. Because hear me when I say everybody ain't happy for you. Y'all gonna listen to me one day, but everybody ain't happy to see you doing well. A lot of people want to see you when you were broken, when you were disappointed, when you was living check to check, or when you was on whatever. They like to see you when you was at your lowest. Now that you've come up, some of them people don't flock around you no more. You know why? Because they see that you've outgrown them. And so in order for them to feel good about themselves, they got to make up lies about you. They got to talk about you. They got to always throw shade on your name. So you have to understand, not everybody is going to be happy when you accomplish that goal. Say you wanted to go back and get your degree. When you get that degree, everybody ain't going to be happy for you. Say you always want to be married. When you get married again, everybody ain't going to be happy for you. You see what I'm saying? So you have to show people the results. Stop talking about it. Stop telling everybody. I remember Steve Harvey said years ago, you can't be talking to small-minded people and you a giraffe and you're talking to somebody on a turtle level. You got to get around people that are on your level or higher, because they're going to understand the drive in you, the goal in you, the hustle in you. But the people that are on the turtle level, they're down there where they are for a reason. They don't understand what you're doing. When you keep telling your big dreams to small-minded people, it's just going to make you doubt yourself. It's just going to make you feel less of a person, because they're always putting their insecurities off on you, and you got to be strong enough to shut your mouth and keep your mouth closed. And then the next thing that I want to share with you that you need to stop sharing in 2022, and I'm looking down because I have my notes, is when you get into a new relationship, ladies, hear me well. Don't bring up your ex. Don't bring up your ex relationship, what happened. None of that is important, because before you know whether or not the relationship is going anywhere, some people will use that against you. Like, say for instance, if your ex was a big cheater and you start telling your new boo all about this stuff and how he used to treat you bad and did all this, well, when he starts to get out of line, he gonna be like, well, your ex did this, I ain't do all this. And then you gonna start thinking that stuff is okay because he didn't do as bad as your ex. Leave your ex relationships where they are. You don't hear me ever talk about my ex-husband, because it's a waste of time. It's nothing that he got that I want. It's nothing that he does that, none of that. All I do is wish him well. I wish him the best. I wish him happiness. That's it. For as me just wasting my mouth, wasting my words to talk about the past, that mess is over with. It's over with. So all I can do is move on with my life and be at my best self, and continue to focus on my relationship. All that stuff about what happened in the past, that's over with. And your new boo does not need to hear all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? Because you never know people's intention. That's why I say, when you get to know people, share less as possible. And ladies, we are guilty that we be want to talk. And I know I love to talk. That's why I say, God, that's one of my prayers, is to help me control my mouth, because I love to talk. And I love inspiring and encouraging people. But one of my things that I work on is, when I meet somebody, I say less as possible about myself. I don't talk about my past. I don't talk about my past relationships, because I ain't going that direction no more. We moving forward. So stop talking about what your ex done. You're giving too much energy to that situation. It's not even worth your conversation anymore. And then my last thing that I want you to stop sharing is, when you help somebody, whether that's through a charity, whether that's through just in your town, whatever it is, everybody don't need to know that. Just help people however way you want to do it, and leave that between you and God. Because again, everybody is not happy for you. You have to learn how to keep some kind of mystery about yourself. Keep some things. As Maya Angelou used to always say, you have to have a place in your heart that is just for you. where nobody can go, nobody. You got to have something that's just for you and God. So I hope this video encourages you. I hope it bless you. Remember to follow me on Instagram. I am back on Instagram, you guys. I'm trying my hardest to be consistent, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. Make sure you like this video, comment, let me know your thoughts. Which one have you learned the hard way? Whatever the case may be, encourage the rest of our Sunday Squad members on this platform. I love you guys, and I'll chat with you soon. Yeah.